Hello students, welcome to Harleen Core classes. So today I am back with a new topic of class 8 science, that is matters and non-matters. In this I will be discussing in today's video the chemical properties of the matters. I already uploaded video onto the introduction of matters and non-matters, also the physical properties of the matters, also the physical properties of the non-matters, and today we will be discussing the chemical properties of the matters. Chemical properties of matters. So in this we will be discussing that how the matters reacts chemically with the oxygen, water, acids and bases. That is, we will be discussing what will happen if a matter reacts with oxygen, what will happen if a matter reacts with water, and what will be the reaction between the matters and the acids, and what will be the reaction between the matters and the bases. We will be taking these 4 topics in the chemical properties of the matters, and we will be discussing all 4 in detail. So watch this video till end. So let's start. So first I am taking the reaction of matters with oxygen. So first is reaction of metals with oxygen. And if any of you wants the online classes, you people can contact me at my email ID. I gave my email ID in my description box. So for more practice and for more learning, you can contact me for the online classes too. So reaction of matters with oxygen. How matters will react with oxygen. So suppose I am taking, like, this is some metal. I am writing it here as anything. It can be metal. And we are taking a reaction of metal with oxygen, so it will become metal oxide. It will be metal oxide. Fine. So let's take an example. Suppose I am taking an example of magnesium. So magnesium is a metal. Magnesium is a metal. So when this magnesium metal reacts with oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide, MgO, that is magnesium oxide. This is magnesium. Oxygen. So I just write the equation or the chemical reaction, I should say. Magnesium reacts with oxygen to form the magnesium oxide. But what will be the nature of this magnesium oxide? I mean with nature that if the magnesium oxide is acidic in nature, if the magnesium oxide is basic in nature. So for defining the nature of magnesium oxide, what we will be doing, we will be making an aqueous solution of magnesium oxide in water. It gives you magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide. So what we had done, we had just make an aqueous solution of magnesium oxide in water. We will getting magnesium hydroxide. And if we test this magnesium hydroxide on the litmus paper, we find that the litmus paper changes from red to blue. So if the litmus paper changes from red to blue, we conclude that magnesium hydroxide is a base. So from here the conclusion that is taken is that all the metal oxides forms the basic oxides. So this is very important question also, because your teacher may ask in your exams that if there is an element X, it reacts with oxygen and forms the basic oxide, then the element can be metal or non-metal. Then your answer should be it is a metal because it forms some basic oxides. So all the elements which are metals, they always forms the basic oxides. So if I am talking about the metal oxides, then all the metal oxides are basic in nature, and the test for the basic nature of the metal oxide is done by the litmus paper. So if it is a basic oxide, it turns the red litmus paper to blue. So this is how we test for the nature of oxide, metal oxide, and we did the chemical reaction of metals with oxygen, that is they form the metal oxides. And I also take one example, that is the magnesium plus oxygen. Let's take one more example on the same topic. Like if I take a metal, suppose here I am taking iron metal. Iron metal. So this iron metal, so okay, rather than writing the symbols, if I am writing here the names, if I take iron metal, it reacts with oxygen in the presence of moisture, that is water, we will be getting iron oxide. This iron oxide is also known as rust. Now the question is, what is the nature of this iron oxide? You people can see that iron is a metal, and I already told you that metals forms the basic oxide. So what will be the nature of this iron oxide? Yes, it is a basic oxide. You can take other examples also. You can take the reaction of like copper with oxygen, it also forms the basic oxides. So all the metals, when they react with oxygen, they forms the basic oxides. So this is the first chemical property of the metals, that is the reaction with oxygen. Now the second is reaction of metals with water. What will happen when metals, they will react with water? Fine. So when metals reacts with water, they form the metal hydroxide plus hydrogen gas is released. Fine. So whenever the metals, they reacts with water, they form the metal hydroxide plus hydrogen gas is released. This hydrogen gas, release of hydrogen gas is very important, because question came from here that which gas is released when metals reacts with water, then your answer is hydrogen gas. And this question may ask in a number of times in many exams. So mark it very important and remember it that whenever metals reacts with water, they form the hydrogen gas plus the metal hydroxide. We will check this with an example, like if I am taking a metal sodium. When it reacts with water, it forms sodium hydroxide. Till now the reaction is okay, but you have to write that hydrogen gas will also release along with this, plus hydrogen. Okay? So this is a very important topic here, that which gas is released when metals reacts with water, then your answer is hydrogen gas. So I am taking one more very important thing from the chemical properties of the metals in the end of this video, and that question will surely be asked in your exam. So keep watching the video. So now let's take the third chemical property. Reaction of metals with acids. Now we are taking the third chemical property, that is the reaction of metals with acids. So whenever metals reacts with acids, they form the salt and the hydrogen gas is released. So in case of not all the metals that hydrogen gas is released, there is an exception with the copper metal. So when copper metal, they reacts with acids, but in that case no hydrogen gas is released. But in case of most of the metals, whenever they react with acids, the hydrogen gas is released. Let's take one example of, like, I am taking an example of magnesium. So when it reacts with, let's suppose an acid is a hydrochloric acid, then the salts MgCl2, that is magnesium chloride, is formed plus hydrogen gas is released. So again, an important question is the same, that which gas is released when metals reacts with the acid, then your answer is hydrogen gas. Okay, and exception is again copper. Fine, remember this thing. Whenever copper reacts, no hydrogen gas is released. And the reaction of the copper with the acids you will study in your higher classes. That is not for the 8th class syllabus. Okay. So next will be the reaction of metals with bases. So how metals reacts with bases? So whenever there is a metal and it reacts with base, it forms a salt again and hydrogen gas is released. So in all the three cases, whenever metals react with water, whenever metal react with acids, and the case in which the metals react with bases, the hydrogen gas is released. And this is very important question. Again, I am telling you that which gas is released. It is the hydrogen gas. Remember this thing. And we will be taking one example in which there is a metal and it reacts with the base. So let's see the example. Suppose aluminium metal reacts with the base. Okay. This is our sodium hydroxide. It forms plus hydrogen gas. Fine. So this is how a metal reacts with base. So if the question that can come in exam is just only this, that which gas is released. So you should remember the name of this gas only, the hydrogen gas. This is the thing which is important in this topic. And I already told you in this video that I will be discussing a very important question in the chemical properties of the metal. So let's take that question. Now the most important question from the chemical properties of the metals that will be 100% asked in your exams is, why sodium and potassium are stored under kerosene? Okay. Why sodium and potassium are stored under kerosene? So whenever we have to store the sodium and potassium, we store it in kerosene. Now the question is, give me the reason why they are stored in kerosene, under kerosene. So the answer is, the sodium and potassium metal, they are very reactive metal. So whenever they are exposed to the air, they react with the air and the moisture or the other gases present in the air, and this will spoil our sodium and potassium. So for cutting the exposure of sodium and potassium from the oxygen or from the air or from the other gases in the air, we store it under kerosene. So write it in this way, that sodium and potassium are very reactive metals. Are very reactive metals. So when they are exposed to air, they react with oxygen and moisture, and this spoils sodium and potassium. So that is why they are kept under kerosene. So this is 100% sure shot question. So this question will surely be asked in your exams. So write down in your notebooks also and keep it in your book. So write down in your notebook also and mark it important for the final time revision during the exams, that why sodium and potassium are stored under kerosene. Fine. So I hope this topic is clear to you. That is the chemical reactions between the matters and the oxygen, water, acids and the bases. So keep watching my channel and like the video and let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts. All the best to all the students and subscribe to my channel. And thank you. Bye bye.